Young leopard climbing a tree, fresh killed carcass he's about to eat. Looking at this scene, you would think he's a beast. He's just trying to survive like you and me. Yeah.
Action.
Welcome to the first episode of Saturday Saucy Sessions. My name is King Cozy. Joining me today, I have my homie Jason.
Oh yeah, wait. That's me.
Oh, my bad.
Oh wait, dog.
This is Thriller, also known as Casey Chronic. Follow me on Instagram, Thriller with the XLLER/ZZ, dog. Cause niggas be sleeping on me for no reason.
Yeah. Yo, what's good, man? It's your boy Eric. To the W, for the Wong. You know what it is, yo. That's what's up. Yes, sir.
I join us. Also got my homie Neville.
Oh yeah, you know who it is. It's Neville. You can call me Ferb Sutra. YBN Furby Sutra. IG never thought ow. Stay woke.
Sure, I'm Legendary Beats. Chad out.
Alright, on today's rendition of the podcast, our first topic of conversation is what I like to describe as the illusion of separation. And based on my recent studying and reading and meditation, I've come to a certain understanding that the greatest cause of suffering, or the main root in majority of our suffering as human beings, is centered around the illusion of separation. That is, you believe you are separate from society, from human beings, so you feel insecure, you are anxious, you feel a need to live up to a certain expectation or standard in order to be a part of something, in order to be secure in something. You feel separate from the world. As human beings, we're taught that our bodies are our limits. You can't feel beyond the skin. You can't reach beyond your physical limits. So you innately believe that you are a separate self from everything. Everything is just outside of you. A separation from self as well, with the ego. Where when I think you grow and you develop a conscience, when you go through experiences, you develop an ego due to identifying with thoughts, identifying with your thoughts in certain situations, identifying with the situations, and in that you're separate from self, because now you're this thing, you're that experience that was embarrassing, or you're that thought that was humiliating, or you're that emotions that wasn't thrilling, and so I feel like the illusion of separation, that concept, is cause of, I would say, 90% of the pain in my life, and the suffering in my life. It's I think it's majority of the pain in life in general. What do y'all think about that, man?
Oh my bad. Yo, I get what you're saying, bro. I do. I get what you're saying, because 90% of the people on Instagram is living a separation from who they actually are. Everybody wants to be somebody else, wants to get influenced by this, by that, instead of just being your own self. So you're separating yourself from getting to know yourself even better. Now you focused on like what other people gonna think. I mean, like, look, you came on this earth alone. You feel me? So you gotta like tackle your own challenges by yourself instead of like looking at someone else and be like, I bet, you know what? I don't even have these challenges because that person looks like they don't have no challenges. You feel me? And that's one thing that gets you down. Because the minute all of that is gone, who are you at the end of the day? You feel me? Who are you at the end of the day? You still gotta have to like answer those questions. Whereas from birth, you could have asked those questions and be like, yo, I know who I am. I know what I stand for. I know what I'm about to tackle. You feel me? So I get what you're saying. Yeah. 90% of those are the cause of the things in your life. Straight. Because, like, that's just how it is. That's life, I guess. Is it life?
You know what I'm saying?
I don't know, man. I don't know. It's crazy. It's crazy. But, yeah. That's a good statement that you brought up, bro. That.
Revolutionary, bro. Yeah, bro. It's on another level.
You know, it's like last week we didn't get to touch on the concept of loss, on the topic of loss. And for me, when I thought of separation, one of the first things that came to mind was loss. You know, like the illusion that, or let me not say illusion because it might come out as offensive, but the idea or the belief that when we die and when we are no longer in this realm of like existence, you know, we are forever separate from everything and anything that we engaged with in this realm, you know, of existence, in this reality, in this life, you know. And I think that is personally, you know, based on my understanding, I think that's a great misconception, you know, because we are all everything in and of the universe is energy, bro. You know, in my understanding of physics and chemistry, you know, it's like physical science in general. It's like everything is energy, you know. So innately, maybe the energy like may transform into another form, but it's like still energy. It may be potential energy, it may be kinetic energy. You know, like these dogs barking all crazy, you know, that's like, but it never dies, it's never gone, it's never separate. It's just transforming. And I think in that transformation, in that change, it grows, it like evolves, you know. And I think like once, or if you could let go of the idea that you are separate from anything and everything, you know, a large portion of your suffering will be non-existent, you know, from like that moment. Yeah. And I say that like based off of my experiences with like loss and like my experiences with separation, the idea of separation, you know, like not knowing a lot of people that are supposed to be like vital, you know, in the societal construct. It's like you gotta have, you know, you gotta have like a father, you gotta have a mother, you gotta have you know, you gotta have this construct in order to function as a person. But it's like, man, my father, I don't even know my pops, man. That nigga like passed away when I was like an infant, you know. I don't even know my father, you know. And it's like, off of society, I'm convinced that I can't function as a normal human being without that construct, you know. And it's like, in that sense, I believe I am separate from like, man, I'm separate from humanity. I can't even be myself because I don't have this construct. Or I can't be a human being in society because I don't have that construct. Yeah. And I think that's like an example of just how minute it can be, but like how like the effect of it is insane, you know. That idea of separation. And adding to it, I was just telling Nev right now what I learned in like The Power of Now, the book The Power of Now. That emotions purely are a reflection of your state of mind through your body. And when I was thinking about loss, like the first emotion, or like the emotion that came to mind, is like grief, you know, that feeling of grief. And how it's like a really personal, it's one of those very personal kind of experiences, you know. So something that you don't really experience around people. And how really the grief is just a reflection of your state of mind at that moment. You know, where, like, ironically, once again, you believe that this being is separate from you now, this being has passed away. I'm no longer gonna see this person in the physical realm. So I'm sad, you know, I'm hurting, I'm angry, I'm all these negative experience, and I attach to all these, and I identify with all these negative forms of energy. And innately, you know, as a result of that, I'm gonna suffer, you know. And it's all because I believe that something that was in one form is forever gonna be separate, or something that was a part of me, a part of my life, a part of my reality, a part of who I am, is now separate from me, you know, physically. Yeah. So what do y'all think about that concept of the illusion of separation, and how it's implemented, how it acts in like the smallest and everyday situations, you know, daily like kind of situations.
When you say separation, are you talking like death, or you talking like separation relationships, or separation in general, friendships, like separation in general? Okay, like when you talking death, bro, death is deep, dog. That's gonna tear you apart out your 99, dog. Like literally, bro. Death is something you do. The person, when the person is dead, you can't get the person back as child, dog. But when it's like relationships, bro, sometimes when you separate with the person, it's like for a good reason, you feel. It's like for a good reason. It's not in jail, you feel. It's not like, dog, maybe it's for your state of mind. But like, Joe, there's a good reason why you separated with that person. So separation, sometimes it's good, dog. You feel. That's what I'm trying to add on right now. But when it comes to death, like parting with somebody you love, bro, hey, that could tear you apart. But then if it's like, Joe, you were in a relationship, bro, dog, left for the right reason, bro. Unless maybe y'all just some shit is going on, maybe it's deep, y'all can't live without each other. But then not your boy. Now you came into this planet alone, right, Eric? That's what you said. No, wait, but then not your boy. That's all I gotta add. Just gave my.
You know, when I hit. But yeah, I feel you. I like to add on to that separation, because sometimes you can separate for growth. I don't know if that makes sense, because you know, you can be experiencing something with your boys and you have that, Joe, this shit is like hurting you from the inside. On top, like you said, emotions are like reactions on top to what the mind is actually perceiving.
Reflection of the state of mind.
Reflection of your state of mind. Now you can actually see that. That's why they say like the people that you chill with, you are who you hang with. I don't know if that concept makes sense, but let me try and break that down. You ever peep how when you chill with your homies and then you go home, you have this negative state of mind for some reason, because your homie was like negative the whole time and he's like telling you negative shit. Now look, your mind is hovering around that state of mind with him. On top, you covering this experience. Your homie's doing this thing. He wakes up late, disrespects his parents, doesn't even think about his future like that, and he's also putting that to your mind, because his actions actually like they're gonna reflect to yours, because you'll be like, oh nah, it's cool not to give a fuck, it's cool not to even like listen, because you could be preaching at your boy like, nah dog, I think it's time to change, but at the same time your boy does not want to change. So you're gonna see like, oh, it's good not to listen. And if your boy is preaching that every day, you're gonna start perceiving your life like that. Other than when you're chilling with boys who get money, your homies who get money, your homies who always on the move, you're gonna see that you're gonna have to start living differently. Cause why? Your boy wakes up early. That's gonna start to encourage you to wake up early too. Your boy listens and he grows through every aspect, and you can see he's even avoiding some people. He's separating from that. It's not a bad thing. It's a good thing because he's growing. He does not want to be in that same state of mind, that same state of place. He's changing and he's growing. So separation is good because it's growth. Yeah.
And like, bro, that's so true. Like that's the that's so true. That's the result of, I think, the awareness, bro. Like, once you're aware that, man, this separation is an illusion. Like, it's not actually hurting me. It's not, like you're saying, a bad thing. It's a good thing, you know.
Yeah.
And in the sense that I don't need to like believe that I'm separate from anything in order to survive. You know, I think it's something that we inherited from a primitive kind of survival mentality. You know, like a victimhood mentality.
Yeah.
And I think it's rooted in like our subconscious, in the average black man's subconscious, you know. And that victimhood, I think it goes hand in hand with the concept of oppressor and oppressed, you know, where a lot of in every sort of like settlement on earth right now, there is that divide between the oppressor and the oppressed, you know. It's part of our normal life, you know, like our normal daily life. So like, there's physical separation amongst people based on wealth off the top, you know. And then you look at like our neighborhoods and the physical environments that we're in, you know. We're right now, Eastris as a heavily populated area of one kind of person, you know. Moms is a heavily populated area of one kind of person, you know, with particular characteristics, who looks a certain way, you know. And it's that physical, I think that physical separation that we see in everyday society, where even in the classroom, bro, the good kid naturally goes to the front, and the kid who identifies with the object of being bad sits in the back, you know. And I feel that, bro. And it's like from the moment you are interacting with human beings on a regular basis, you are separating, you separate. You adopt with that illusion of separation based on identifying with thought forms. Because it's like, I walk in here, you know, it's 5 other niggas, you know, all dressed differently, you know, all look different. I don't know, but based on my experience with niggas that look like this, they probably either gonna be all aggressive and all don't fuck with me, or all cool and all chill, you know. And already it's like what I describe with thoughts. It's a linear thing. It's chronological. So it's like a story almost. And innately you create expectations. So it's like, okay, I'm not gonna talk to him because this is what's gonna happen. This is what it's gonna end up being. I'm not gonna talk to him. I'm not gonna talk to. Okay, I'm gonna holler at these people. I'm gonna separate from the union of different kinds of people and like identify with this construct, with this thought that I had, and manifest it, you know. You know. So that it's like that level of separation has been happening, I think, from the beginning of my life. I think from the beginning of life, in the lives of human beings in general, you know, over like thousands of years, bro. You know, religion is separate separate understandings, separate ideas, separate philosophies, separate texts, which say the same thing, which relate the same purpose, which fulfill the same purpose. You know, it's like different colors, different amounts and types of melanin in the skin that perform different duties in different climates for different reasons. But we separate because of it. We identify with that like idea of separation. You know? And it's like seeing that level of separation embedded in you like by the system, you know. I'm not surprised, I'm not really shocked when I see myself separating from people in situations, separating from thoughts, separating from emotions, separating from anything that doesn't make me comfortable or that doesn't satisfy my false sense of self, you know, like my false identity in self, you know, my ego, my pride, you know, like what I think I am, kind of a thing. Yeah, so it's like,
But like in that context, it's like, how can I say this? That separation is basically built through experience. If you get what I'm saying? If you like experience this and that, that's why when you walk in a room and you see people of color, see a white person, see a colored person, see your people, you're gonna somewhat start like joining your people because through experience you've been taught that your people wanna keep you nice and warm. Other people, gonna do that, and that experience is just gonna keep following you. Or that experience is just gonna keep following you because that's what you learned.
yeah,
Now you have to teach yourself to like separate from that. So like if you have seen a toxic person, you're gonna obviously see the characteristics that they bring off, and you wanna avoid that person because why? That's through experience. That's that shit that you learn. Like, nah, this person's gonna hurt me, bruh. It's gonna repeat that cycle. So separation is also identified with experience, basically. Yeah, that's
because it's like in the past you were united with something before you separated, you know. It's like in the sentence you were like this, you know, you were unified with this, and then you became separate from it, so now you're this, you know. I think that's basically like what you're saying, bro. It's like what the experience is like. It's what happened before the physical separation. So I guess like maybe we were born like united for real. You know, maybe we were born like really on that level of connection that like I was describing to you earlier, bro. And it's like I don't even need to speak to you in order to engage with you and share energy. You know, I ain't gotta say anything. I just gotta be around your vicinity or even think about you. And it's like right now I'm engaging with you, and you could be like all the way like across the world, bro. But it's like in that moment, because there is no separation, really. We're all energy. We all come from the same source. We'll all return to the same source. You know, we're all human beings and life forms, you know, forms of living consciousness. So it's like, man, connection just flows. You don't even have to do anything to connect with niggas. I think that's something like the youth struggle with a lot. You know, I think in South Africa it's like connecting with people, the process of connecting with an individual.
Yeah. Some individuals be dicks out here, bruh. There's a reason for that.
I hear you. I hear you.
Yeah, goes along with like what you experience with a person. Cause imagine now you wanna hit up a homie, but you're like, do you remember last time? Hey. Now it's gonna be embedded, like imprinted in your subconscious mind that true, people are like crappy ass people. So you're gonna like, you're gonna always avoid. That's why like I don't even know what the youth. And sometimes some youth they don't even talk to people because they're influenced. They be like, nah, this guy that
guy does that.
One's hard.
Talk to people like you.
Yeah.
That's how it is, bro. That's
Hey.
how it is.
Joe, we just live in a broken society, low key, bro. Our society's broken.
Bro, but you can't be cool with everybody though, dog.
Yeah.
Facts.
Like-
but like
Facts.
you can have a general love for human beings, but definitely you can.
Yeah, like, bro, you can't. It's good meeting new people, man. But what if, bro? I ain't trying to go over the top or anything. But what if you meet a serial killer or some shit, bro? On top, you don't know, bro. Some way shit could happen, dog. That's why some people, dog, we choose to stay quiet. Oh, it's speak when spoken to, dog. If you really want something, speak, dog. I ain't gonna bite you or anything. But then, bro, sometimes, dog, you gotta, bro. I have this thing, dog. Sometimes when I meet new people, I don't really talk, dog. I don't really talk a lot because some people can take you for a female something. You feel what I'm trying to say, bro. They can take you for something like that, bro. So sometimes, dog, you gotta keep quiet first, bro. Analyze the situation before you actually, bro, start, because a lot of people take advantage, especially where we live in, dog. 012, bro. Dog, you gotta be careful, dog. Walking in these streets, dog, it's heavy. But yeah, bro, that's the chat, dog. Escape from Mike.
Getting into that understanding of like connections and like relationships, I think within relationships it's like there's always this battle for control, it's like, and when I say relationship, I'm gonna use this in a very broad kind of vast context, because for me any and every form of living consciousness that you relate with for a span of time, however long that span of, that's a relationship. It's like that human being that you see every day, you don't engage with but you wave at, you are relating with that human being on a daily basis. So in a sense there is a relationship there. It's like the homie that I give the bags of trash to every Monday, who's gonna like go recycle all the recyclable base, like I don't engage with them really, but I have a relationship because I relate with that person over a span of time on a regular basis. So it's like within those connections, within those relationships, I feel like on a very subconscious level there's always a battle for control. And I think that battle is mostly internal. Within your mind, sometimes between two different thought forms, sometimes between you and a thought, sometimes between you and the person. And from my like experience, it's like, bro, the only way to really have control of anything is to like kind of let go of control, in a sense, like let go of the want to have control.
Go with the flow, bro.
Bro.
Just like flow like water, bro. That's it. That's it. Everything should just flow, even if you get into a relationship with anybody, bro. Even if you get into a relationship with anybody, that relationship is supposed to flow, dog. I said, bro, if you're flowing and the honey ain't flowing, then that's not a relationship, bro. If she's flowing and you're not flowing, that's still not a relationship. You feel me? So if she's fighting for control over the relationship and you're just there like, I bet, you know what, I'm just going with the flow, then that's a loss already. But if both of y'all say, okay, Shop, we let go of control and we keep it moving, then my nigga, you gonna be like here, dog. You up top. Because why? You let go. Come on, bro. Like, it's all in the mind, dog. Like they say, the mind is the powerful thing, powerful weapon that you have right now, bro. Right now, that's your mind.
Yeah,
If you can tell your mind, like, I bet this is how it is, your mind will follow you, bro, because that's what you're telling yourself. That's the one thing that you can do. Always tell yourself, bring yourself up to speed. If you don't want to control, you don't want to control. That's it. That's just it, bro. The mind is the powerful thing. You just gotta learn to let go. That's it.
Yeah, but also touching up on the things he also said that like about the mind. It's crazy also how like if you actually think about it, everything that you actually believe in is based on your form of reality, the mental state, So like if you grew up in a household where it was typically just one mother or something like that, no dad, it forced you to take control of the situation to help out your mom, your moms. So at the end of the day, some people, it would be harder to adapt, a sense of control in them. But yet women are always fighting that the male should be dominant. You get me? That's a problem, though.
Why do you think it's a problem?
It's a problem, though. Because as he said, if things go with the flow, right, then like both, will be happy. But as Kali, you're gonna make me feel like I'm the bad guy when I'm dominant,
Yeah.
Like give me a sense of I'm abusive and stuff like that. Dog, and that's the biggest issue, dog.
That's something I think the youth of today are struggling with a lot.
Yeah.
Like that fear of intimacy on a deeper level. Because with intimacy comes vulnerability. And niggas get taken advantage of when they're vulnerable.
These hands, dog.
So it's like at the end, bro, I feel like generally you gotta know who you are, you gotta be fulfilled in self. So when you enter an interaction like that or enter a relationship where you can see that you can't let go, you can't truly be yourself and flourish and benefit, you separate.
Yeah, Mr. Maracho, nobody knows you like you, dog. How can you know you because you? Somebody can't know you because they know you.
But it happens, dog. It happens when someone knows you better than you, dog.
Nobody can know you.
That's not true, bro.
That's impossible.
That's not
Unless
true.
because you let
Maybe
the
the
person into
No,
bro,
maybe-
giving that person
No,
that-
dog.
Maybe-
Even without giving them that info,
bro.
some people are just, like.
I get what you're saying though,
dog,
but
it
then
happens. Even my uncle is like that. My uncle is like that,
Bro,
dog.
bro, the only person they can know you better than you is the person you came out of. Chata, nobody can know you better than that person, bro. Nobody, dog. No, Joe, nobody knows you better than that person, bro. That person can read your eyes and say, Joe, something is wrong, dog. And you know deep inside, Joe, something is wrong. But nobody else noticed, dog. Not even your brothers, not even your sisters. Nobody noticed, bro. People you live with on a daily. But your mom be like, hey, dog, what's wrong? 9-9. Nobody can know you better than that person. So like, bro, escape my truth.
But like, touching on that, dog. Touching on that, there's some people who actually can know how you feeling. I've experienced this and I saw it in my own eye. Like, I don't know what was happening with me, but like I didn't feel right. Like I was like baked, tanked up, and I don't usually tank up, so like it was messing me up. So I was like baked. I was having negative thoughts. Like I'm fighting, and when I'm with my boys, everyone thinks I'm happy because I'm saying jokes, I'm laughing with them. As we're walking towards the park, this guy looks at me and is like, "Whoa, balance that, bro." I'm like, "Eh? What you mean balance that?" He's like, "Nah, bro, you need to find balance." I'm like, and I don't know this guy. That's the first time I see this guy in my life. He's like, "Yo, you need to find balance." I'm like, "What?" He's like, "I can see you going through something." I start sitting down because now I'm invested. I'm like, "Yo, what you mean, bro?" Like, I need to know what's going on with me, bro, because I'm trying to figure this out. He's like, "Nah, dog, you're holding on something that you don't want to let go." He's explaining all these things, and he's telling me like, "I see why you're avoiding like chilling with your friends, because my friends moved. They went to chill there, and then I stayed there listening to this guy. It's like, I see why you're not going with your friends." Like, they were even like mixing lean, and I was like mizing because I was like, I don't know what's going on with me now. And I'm like, Joe, how does this guy know how I'm feeling? And I started like giving him topics like, okay, maybe he knows because of like psychological traits. Because psychologists, they can tell like when someone's not feeling right through the body language, through the movement, shit like that. But my body language was like, okay, because I looked happy, shit like that. But he's like, nah, not the body language. He's like, do you believe we have met before? Like, Dog, there you go with that spiritual stuff. Like, there we go again. I'm like, bruh, hey,
I
but
love those
yeah.
kinds of people, bro.
Bro, like, where do they come from, dog? Like,
Those niggas is like mushrooms, bro.
hey, bro.
They appear when you don't want them to appear, but when they're there, you just gotta pay attention to them.
From experience, you experience with them, dog. You just, man, that day that guy taught me something. And you can basically say that statement is true. Some people know you better than yourself.
There's some truth to what he was saying.
Yeah, some people know you
There's
better
some
than
truth
yourself.
to it,
That's what I'm saying.
you know.
Some people are just great at analyzing.
Joe, how is that possible, dog? How can somebody know you better than you, dog?
Dog, wait, can
I feel like
Bo, they can know.
I feel
They
like we
can know
have to
what
define
you
the word
like,
no,
dog.
bro.
Okay, sharp.
Fine, we have to define the word no.
What is
I feel
no?
like that's
What do you
what the
mean
clash
no,
in
dog?
context is.
What do you mean no, bro?
Because that's the thing, but everybody's understanding of everything is different. So even though the innate idea is a uniform source, our understanding of it is completely different. So I can teach you Newton's laws, but the ways you apply them in your life are gonna be completely different to everybody else. So him using the term no based off of Jason's experience and Jason's understanding and Jason's state of mind right now compared to your understanding of no based on like your experiences, your understanding and your state of mind right now, bro. Obviously your use and your understanding of the term no is gonna be different, but it's gonna have truth to it because it's based on your experience.
Bro, so when you be like someone knows you, like every option, dog, like everything you would eat, everything you would like, bro, I'm like Zoab, dog. Anything that would make you angry, are you talking shit like that, bro? What you talking when you like
See,
someone
but that's
knows
very
you, dog?
surface.
Yeah, that's
It's very surface, like, and that's natural. A lot of our use and understandings of words is very surface level, because majority of our time using the words and actually engaging with the words was on the surface level. So in the sentences they were introduced to us with, it was on the surface level. So instinctively when we use the term, it's on the surface level. It's like maybe you probably won't realize it, but the first time when somebody said no to you, they were using it in the context of what you're describing right now.
Bro, when you be like somebody knows you, dog, or they can buy you, like Joe. Let's say, dog, you can't buy anybody clothes, dog. You can't be like, Joe, go buy me. I'm sorry, you can't send anybody to buy your fits. So when you're talking no, bro, you mean like there's somebody else, bro, that can buy you like maybe 4 fits and you like all of them and every item in that fit. Are we talking shit like that, bro?
Bro, I think you wanna answer that?
Yeah, that's if like when you chill with someone that long, like you know your homie's gonna know like, okay, I know what my homie's gonna want to wear.
Sure, yeah, your homie, you can know shit like that, but then you might not know what your homie likes for breakfast. I'm talking know somebody on a deeper level, dog.
Yeah.
Like on a deep level where you know that person's inside and out, bro. Gotta know where to hit you to feel what once what.
But
I'm
it's
talking shit like that, bro. That's like when you like know a person, bro. You can't be like a dog, bro. Nobody can know you, too, bro. You get what I'm trying to say,
I
dog.
get you, bro. I purely
Bro.
get what you're saying.
Yeah, there's nobody that knows you better than you, dog. You know what makes you angry, dog? You know, bro, you know what type of liquid you like drinking, dog. Nobody in it, nobody knows you better than you, dog. Can't be like there's somebody that knows me better than me, dog. Chad I am, dog.
Or maybe it has an insight that I need, and in a sense, since they knew the insight that I needed in that moment in time, they knew me better than me in that present moment. And all there is the present moment. So in that moment where he knew the insight that he needed in order to be him, even though he's not him, but just because he had a greater understanding from a place of wisdom, he was able to give him the understanding and the insight that he needed in the present moment. And that's not a coincidence.
I hear you.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm touching on when I talk about different understandings of the term. Cause like, bro, we were talking about this the other day, dog. Like, we made this shit up. We made that word up, bro. Literally. So I can use it in I can use it in ways that I'll make up today that could be in textbooks tomorrow.
What word, bro?
Every word, the word. Yeah. You know, we literally, like, literally make up we make it up.
The dictionary was created by a different set of people.
You know what I'm saying? With different uses. Yeah. This is not gonna work.
Let the mic rotate, let the mic rotate.
Yeah, with different uses, for different reasons.
Yeah.
The way and the reason that people were using the term spirit 15 like 1,000 years ago and today are completely different. Because the average man then and the average man now are on two different states of mind, two different levels of thinking, two different states of being, just in general. And your use of the word spirit when you were 9 years old and where you're at right now is two different states of mind, two different levels in evolution, two different states of being. So it's like innately the same way that your use of words changes, your understanding of them and your beliefs and concepts will forever change. But at the end of the day, beat is never gonna change. Purely. But like his understanding of the term no might be shifted to something beyond what he thought before. And I think the reason why, like personally, why I often reject things that I don't see maybe innately or understand off the top is because I feel like once I adopt, or let me not say adopt, but understand or take in what that perception, that different perception is, I'm giving away something. You know, something that was a part of me is like being separate. Like I'm giving away this thing that like meant so much to me and influenced so much of my being in exchange for this almost different way, different form of it that provides me with a purpose or perspective that I need more right now in the present moment. And I feel like that's not necessarily the truth, that I'm giving something away or I'm surrendering something. Rather, I'm like standing on the shoulders of giants, as like Newton would say. It's like I'm like building what your perception is, or I'm adding fragments from your perception into my understanding in order to make it more potent, you know. It's like, and in that sense, there is no right or wrong. There is no good or bad idea. There is no right or wrong emotion, you know, false or true statement. It is merely another perception. And though we can like characterize that perception and describe it, we can never truly I think we can adopt our own identity from that statement, but we can never truly define it. That's why I feel like the dictionary is like the greatest book of lies, but it's foundational and institutional to all language. You know, it's like the way that like the way that all those like words and terms and concepts are defined are always gonna change. You know, I think that's what gives them meaning, in a sense. And our last topic for today's session is the choice of joy. And before I carry on, I want to like share with y'all my understanding and distinction between joy and happiness, because I often misinterpret joy for happiness, or assume momentary happiness is joy, and I feel like that misconception like not only causes suffering, but it's like it's rooted in a lack of knowing and understanding self. And when I say choice of joy, it's like you can choose to have joy the same way you can choose to pick up your phone, you can choose to like greet somebody, choose to say something, because it's a conscious action. I think you can be like no thoughts, no emotion, just be in the present moment consciously. You can consciously choose to do that. And in the moment you are choosing presence, you are choosing the joy of being. The same way, I think after an experience you can choose, let's say you punch me in the face, like I can choose to be angry in that moment. I can choose to identify with that thought form and like reflect my state of mind through my body and react, you know. So it's like, for me, it's key to understand like the difference between joy and happiness. Like in the Bible, they talk about like joy being a fruit of the spirit. Like I like that concept. Where it's like, cause I love fruits like in general. It's like, cause it's like, today like my breakfast was like a pineapple, cause it's like the nourishment in it is like so natural and it's so concentrated, and that's what joy is, bro. When you're like joyful, it's nourishing to your spirit, to your soul, to your essence. And it's real. Whereas happiness, I think, is temporary. It's instant. It's conditioned.
Bro, I don't know, but isn't it the other way around, dog? Isn't like joy for a split second, like maybe your favorite artist just dropped, hey yo, yeah, dog, that nigga just dropped, what, and then happiness is like, bro, you always at peace, dog. Or there's nothing bothering you, bro. You always at peace on a day-to-day basis, bro. Like you got no problems or whatsoever. Is that like joyful or being happy, dog, and at peace, or is there like, or am I giving happiness a different definition and joy a different definition to it too?
Totally.
It's different for all of us,
Totally.
but it's like, yeah, it's different for all of us.
Dog, like what you said, dog, like joy and happiness, all of us have a different perception of what joy and happiness is, right?
Definitely.
But the one thing that I've noticed about joy and happiness, joy is usually for a short measure of time. It's usually about the small things, like things that we see in our conscious mind, like what we see in our daily lives. But happiness is a mindset. It's a feeling, that thing that can never change, Happiness is something that it's everlasting to you, That's why I can't say I can't judge someone's idea of happiness, because we're all unique and different. You get me? Yeah.
Yeah, but there's truth to what y'all are saying, man. I guess the way that I thought about it is like, in the word itself, happiness is like, it's happening, it's like it's happening right now, Whereas like joy, you can't see joy. It's like, oh, here's a joyful, it's like you can't, but like you can experience it. And I think that's why it's a fruit of the spirit. I feel like wisdom, you can't see wisdom. It's like, yo, that man's got mad wisdom right now. I can't see that, but I can experience that through a conversation. So it's like,
You also right with that, because you can get people who get the name Joy. They give them the name, this person's name is Joy. That's because it's for a reason. That means that child, when they had them, they were always smiling.
experience
Answer every like I don't know how to explain what joy is, but the adjective joyful like kind of makes sense because you can see someone who's just like fucking happy about everything. Like we could be going through some shit, but that person is like, hey guys, look at the bright side of this.
You know,
On top,
optimistic.
yeah, it's like they're just joyful about the experience. They're joyful about the time of like them being alive and shit like that. And yeah, I don't even know what joy means. Doesn't make sense. But yeah, through the person that you can see and talking to them, you can be like, oh nah, that person's a very joyful person. And then when you see them from the outside, they don't look really joyful. But get to know them and you could see that their life is a total different story. And it's just full of joy. So joy in it means for me.
That's true though. People are very crucial in our understanding of things. And I think people shouldn't be the greatest factor in dictating what has to do with your life. Everything has to do with your life, which I think isn't what is the current situation with the youth, where it's like, if I were to ask you who you are, majority of the things that you would tell me are things that you adopted from people which they either instructed or guided you to adopt. You didn't choose to, I'm gonna adopt this, you know? And I'd say, yeah, like very few did you consciously decide I'm gonna adopt this. And I think that's where the fear comes in when adopting new ideas, new philosophies, new habits, new ways of thinking. Cause it's like, man, these people are all I know. And I grew up with these people. Like, I've been around these forms of consciousness my entire existence. And they say this. So anything that's not this isn't sensible here, isn't right. Yeah. So I can't do it. You know? It's like I can't think about this because nobody else thinks about it, you know. It's like something as small as the way that we appear. You know, it's like people are so scared to like really do and appear the way that they are because, or maybe let me not say are, but like who they are in that present moment, rather, because of like the experience, you know, of their judgment, of the moral compass they have adopted. And I think in those moments it's extremely hard to choose joy, to last in that mindset of happiness you're referring to.
Yeah.
Because you are constantly identifying with something that is not self, and you in turn suffer because of that, naturally. Yeah. And it's like when I look at the youth, like at my school, the hardest thing those kids can do is be themselves for like a day.
Damn. Steve, you high school? Oh, no, I was myself.
You know, but it's
Thing is, like, how can I say this? Like, I'm myself, but I always get rejected for being myself.
Yeah.
So I've actually had to accept that, yeah, boy, I'm a loner.
Oh, you fuck them. If they reject you, fuck them.
That's what I'm saying.
You came into this world one man, dog. If that person doesn't fuck with you, then fuck you, dog. If you don't fuck with me, fuck Joe. There's too many people on this planet for you to be giving a fuck about one person that doesn't fuck with you, bro. Come on, dog. There's too many people, bro. Personalities, dog, they repeat, dog. There's nobody that doesn't match your personality that you can't gel with. So if this person doesn't give a fuck about you, then fuck that person. Chat that, dog. Easy, bro.
Facts, though. Facts. That's what I'm saying. People that don't even fuck with me, I understand that, and it's like, okay, cool, but keep your distance, cause I'ma do me.
Yeah, man.
On time, I'ma do me, and you cannot shut down what I'm about to do.
you know what I'm saying?
So yeah, it's like, alright, Joe.
And it's almost like fuel, bro.
It's like fuel.
It's fuel, bro. Cause it's like, man, you're so you that this human being can't stand it, and they gotta get away from it. because that means they're gonna be forced to be them for a moment, and they can't bear the idea of being them. So they just gonna like get like just be yo. You know, we can be around this, and I think that's something, you know, like that experience you described where that person just like that you don't know, you've never met, told you something about yourself that you weren't even aware of. The average person would reject that.
Yeah.
You know, like, and I think that rejection is rooted in fear, you know, fear of seeing the problem in its purest form and like dealing with it, because I think that is the simplest way to put human existence. Constantly seeing the problem and dealing with it. You know? It's like when you were a toddler, you had a toy, but you could only play with that toy for a certain amount of time. That's the problem. Deal with that problem. It's like now you're around other human beings for a specific amount of time, and you have to survive in this environment. That's your problem. Deal with it. You know? And it's like,
Extroverted, shy niggas,
yeah, it's like
good niggas.
in the sip,
Deal with it.
in the sip. We go get a chair, nigga.
Ai, diga essa lá tá dentro.
Alright, man. Joe, what you think of podcast?
Choose it live, dog.
Yeah.
This was the last topic.
We're about to finish, bro. Hey, Joe, Tamu, go answer your phone, bro.
Mas eu tô aqui, ó.
Hey, yo, bro, away. Yeah, but I guess to end it off, on a breakdown, one last concept, which is the implications of choosing joy, which is like what you physically do in order to choose that or be in that ever state of happiness you're referring to, that or choosing, you know, my understanding of the joy. And to do that, like physically, I think you have to be aware of the moments where you're not experiencing that at all. You know, where you're unconscious and you're suffering and your pain body is like active. You know, like you're physically like going through anguish, and it's like in that moment, I think it begins with, once you're aware in that moment, that's where the choice begins. Because now you're aware of something that's not you, you know, experience that's not innately you, but you have to deal with in that moment. That is the problem you have identified, and you have to deal with it at that moment. And once you're aware of it, you know, you accept it and you acknowledge its existence, and immediately all weight or all attachment that you had toward is kind of gone, and only then can you actually start dealing with the problem physically, like choosing joy, like sitting down and being like, I'm gonna be happy, I'm gonna do things and be around people that. There's a chair there, bro. There's a chair. Hey, man, shout out to Pang, man. Shout out Identical Boy. Yeah, so for me, in my experience, it's like purely just choosing to be. Not only is life and experiences. Like not only is it not, let me not say easier, but it's like it makes more sense, or it's a lot more natural when you're living. It's like these things that you couldn't make sense of and you didn't care about have meaning. You know? Yeah, and with that, yeah, I guess we're gonna call it a wrap, you know. Thank y'all for coming through, you know, to this episode of Saturday Saucy Sessions. We will continue next week. Yo, bro. Identical boy.